April 11th, 8:05 p.m. You know, boys, I'm just a hick from the sticks. I don't have a 2-year degree. I don't have a 4-year. I don't have a 6, 8, 10, 12, 14-year college degree whatsoever. But I did get some education, though, through some other means, you know. I'm a high school graduate. You hear this term superpower, huh? Superpower. What's a superpower? You know, that term, truthfully, has probably not been used correctly, has it? In my opinion, it hasn't. How many superpowers do we have in this world? You know, the truth is, we may only have one. But that's not what's been talked about over the last decades, is it? You know, when we go back and we look, we'll just start with George H.W. Bush and we'll fast forward. You know, William Jefferson Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden. And now we're back to Donald Trump, President Trump. How about that? Have you noticed what's happened since around the year, we'll just say 1990? What's happened? What takes up our news cycles generally? What's been taking up our news cycles under those presidents that I listed? Until Donald Trump was elected for all practical purposes. See, you see all these presidents, they were using, will you say, they were using or displaying or showing our military power. So our news cycles were being basically confiscated when it came talking about these other countries like Iran, Afghanistan. You see? Or we'd have a bomb go off somewhere, or we see Israel being attacked. That's what's been taking up our news cycle. Now, granted, you know, when Trump was in the first time, and even when Joe Biden was in, and we're still seeing it today even, with Donald Trump months into his second term now, we've seen all this bullshit in the news cycle, you know, with all these fake impeachments, fake investigations, fake charges, all this garbage the Democrats tried to do. But all these presidents besides Trump, you notice they never really demonstrated the economic power of the United States of America, did they? They never did that. Hence, Donald Trump. You know, there's been talk, and this has been going on now for probably 25 years, 20 years, you know. You've heard this, basically, you know, Russia's really a non-player. You know, the Cold War was over. The Berlin Wall came down. Russia is really now, from all practical purposes, in my opinion, they're a weak nation, comparatively speaking to the United States of America. Oh yeah, they have nuclear weapons. Okay? That was one of the keys in identifying some of these countries as superpowers. Well, don't Pakistan have nuclear weapons now? They're not a superpower, are they? So Donald Trump is using the instrument of economic power. See, you have a military instrument. Well, yeah, these past presidents, they used that. But Donald Trump, he's using the economic instrument of power. You know what this means, right? We've heard this talk going on for 20, 25 years, you know, about, oh, we got to watch China, we got to watch China. Well, that was from a military aspect. Well, guess what? Donald Trump hasn't started any wars, has he? He hasn't started any. He's ended some, but he's not started any. We're probably, truthfully, right now, we're at war with China. But guess what? This war with China may be won without firing a single damn shot. How about that? Because Donald Trump, President Trump, is using an instrument of power that no modern day past president has used. How about that? You shouldn't be hearing this from a high school flunky, should you? High school graduate? But that's the truth. Now, you know, the old Democrats have got their talking point, you know, chaos. Well, Chuck Schumer, let me clue you in there, buddy. You know what chaos is, right? Chaos is when you've got a college student being murdered by an illegal in this country. Chaos is that 12-year-old in Houston. Chaos is when you've got the mayor of New York City, who you all used to love, seeing all these illegals show up in that city saying, oh my goodness, this will break our city. That's chaos there, Schumer. That's chaos. Yeah, chaos is when you're asking the nominee for the Democratic Party, she had to be asked more than once, is the border secure? And she finally said it was secure. She lied to us. Why would you ever trust that woman to do anything for you? The border, she said the border's secure. All you had to do is watch Fox News. They were showing drone footages and everything else down there. Did it look secure? When these people all showed up in New York City, did that border look secure? Well, I got news for folks. I think I'm going to be right in this. The rock hammers will come out. I don't know how many years it's going to be. I would not be surprised to see Donald Trump being placed along with the other people on Mount Rushmore. I'm dead serious about this. I'm dead serious. You see all this fraud and waste that they're discovering. Who was running these damn agencies, for goodness sakes? Letting all this shit be paid out of our taxpayer money. Who are these people? No self-policing? We don't have self-policing in these damn agencies? Well, how much money were these people getting paid? And Elon Musk, and look, Donald Trump was sworn in January. You know, January ain't been that long ago, and this is what they've discovered. Oh, didn't take them long, did it? Well, what about the powers to be that were running these damn agencies? This shit's right under their damn nose. Where'd this money actually go? Reckon. Follow the money, you know, that's what they say. Follow the money. Wonder where it's going to be found eventually. Oh, only time will tell. That's going to conclude the video.